Dear Diary, as a little girl, I always wanted that when I'm getting older, I would travel the whole world. Now I'm turning 19, and all I want is each day passes peacefully, or I just have a day off of my work and of my negative thoughts. I thought that my life just passes normally. However, an event has changed it. That made me remember the dream I wanted to fulfill, a 5-day field trip to the Southwest of Viet Nam. The first destination was Lady Sư Temple, which was located in Châu Đốc City and Giang Province. It was built in 1820 at the foot of Sam Mountain. Then it was rebuilt in 1972 and completed in 1976. The construction of the temple was built according to the Chinese character Quốc. Getting inside the temple was the main hall for worshipping, which was displayed the statue of Lady Sư. Beside the worshipping area, this temple also had a display room that stored many precious clothes and other objects, which were donated by people who loved Lady Sư. Then we continued to the second place, Gia Sư Kashiput Forest. I was obsessed with this place. I was lost in a fresh air which was full with green and the sound of birds calling to each other. Gia Sư Kashiput Forest includes 70 species of birds and storks, 22 species of reptiles, 11 species of mammals, and 23 species of aquatic animals. This forest also plays an important role in local people's daily lives by contributing soil improvement and watershed prevention. This place also makes huge profit as attracting many tourists and creating jobs for the local. After landing on Phu Island, our journey moved to the next destination, nước mắm Khải Hoàn. I first had an opportunity to know the process of making nước mắm. The two main ingredients of making nước mắm are salt and fish. Nước mắm is the product of fermentation of fish and salt. Nước mắm not only brings huge profit for people, but it also holds some mental value of Vietnamese people by becoming one of the main ingredients in every dishes of Vietnamese food. I also got chance to taste nước mắm Khải Hoàn at the display room. I would say that the taste was balanced, not too sweet and salty. And also at that time, I just wished that I had a bowl of rice and some slices of pork to eat with this nước mắm. You want to buy mắm then? No. Why?
I don't like it.
You like mắm tôm, you don't like mắm nêm.
Mắm nêm.
Yeah, you like mắm tôm. Yeah, I like both. But I also don't buy it because I don't have money.
I don't have enough money.
Xin chào Dương Mai. The second destination in day 2 was Grand World. I was impressed with this place because we didn't have to buy ticket to get in. Grand World is like a small city which consists of many famous constructions all around the world. For instance, in the middle of the city, there was a river just like Venice River in Italy, or the building which was built according to the famous Light Building in Clark Quay, Singapore. I mean, every corner of this place was beautiful. So in my library, there was like hundreds of pics which were taken in Grand World. At night, I rented a bike with my friend to discover the whole city, and I realized that this place was immense. Until 9:30 p.m., there was a water music show called Color of Venice. I used to witness the water show once. However, this show was completely different. It was not just a show with water shooting into the sky with colorful light. It had own story, and the actors and actresses would tell you that story. I especially loved the music when the two main characters were dancing together. I just felt nostalgic, like I was watching an old Disney show in real life. Ngọc Huyền Farm was the first stop of day 3. At first, I was astonished at how big and glorious of the building was. When we got inside, first of all, we listened to the story of the founder of this farm, Mr. Hồ Phi Thủy. Then the tour guide presented us some interesting information related to pearl. There are 3 criteria to evaluate the quality of pearl: the size, the shape, and the color. Let's talk about the size. The bigger, the better. The value of the pearl is also evaluated based on the roundness of it. And last but not least, the color. I used to think that white was the most valuable color of a pearl, and I was completely wrong. The most valuable color is black, or I can say that the darker of the color is, the more valuable it will take. Furthermore, to recognize the real one, we can try to scrub a pearl. If its gray, the whitest is the real one. The second place of day 3 was Sim Garden. This is the first time that I've ever heard about this plant. I thought it was the plant that appeared in a famous song, Những đôi hoa sim, but it was not. From just the plant that widely grow, but now it can make huge profit for the local. They use the plant to create the alcohol, syrup, or chocolate. Moreover, according to some research, this plant can be used to cure some certain diseases such as poisoning, diarrhea, etc. I also tried some alcohol for the first time. A person who really tried the alcohol like me could say that it was nice. At first, I could just taste the bitter, and after a few seconds, it had a sweet aftertaste, but my throat was burning, and then I could feel that my stomach was burning too. However, this burning feeling was great, not annoying to me. After discovering 2 places in the morning, we got to the third stop of today, the honeybee farm. I got the chance to have a close look at the beehives even though I still got traumatized of the bee stings. Luckily, they gave me a hat and veil to protect me from these naughty bees. I also learned something about the bees. There are 3 types of honeybees live in a colony: the queen, the worker, and the troll. The queen, her role is to lay eggs and preside over the hive. She can lay 500 to 1,000 eggs in a day, and there is only 1 queen in each hive. The worker, her role, the workers are female too. She is the one to collect food and water. She also guards the hive, and the troll, the trolls are the males, so his role is mating. And after mating, he dies. And if I meet the troll, I don't worry to get some bee stings because the trolls don't have stingers. The 4th destination was Hộ Quốc Temple. Hộ Quốc Temple says hello to the tourist with a big golden entrance. After getting through the entrance and climbing 70 stairs, I finally got to the main hall. The main hall is also divided into 3 parts. In the middle is the place for worshipping the Buddha. The left and the right area worships Văn Thù Sư Lợi Bồ Tát and Phổ Hiền Bồ Tát respectively. And then I wandered around the main hall. I saw 18 statues which are represented the 18 arhats. They are the protectors of the hall. This place was the most beautiful temple I've ever visited in my life. I also love the location of the temple. In front of the temple is the sea, and behind it is the mountain. And if I had a chance to be on Phú Quốc again, I would definitely come to this place.
được chơi với rất nhiều, được gặp gỡ nhiều bạn mà em chưa có cơ hội được tiếp xúc nhiều, và cũng phải cảm ơn lời tổ chức của lần này em có thể tìm thấy được những tài năng còn ẩn giấu trong lớp của mình.
Well, finally, the last day. So the schedule of this day that we were going to visit two famous destinations, Kairang Floating Market and Home King Temple. At 5 a.m., we walked to Ningkyu Harbor and waiting for a ship to take us to the floating market. Unfortunately, I didn't know what happened, but for nearly 40 minutes, we could be on the boat. It took about 30 minutes to get to the market, and during that time, our tour guide just gave us some amazing stories about this market. I sometimes wonder why this market had a very unique name, Gairang. Then our tour guide told us a legendary about the name. That long time ago, there was a monster. This monster was really spoiled, and he or she did harm to this place. The local people couldn't bear it, so they together defeated this beast. And the beast left this beautiful river with a tooth. And in Vietnam, Gairang means tooth. However, it was just a made-up story based on the name to make the name more miraculous. Passing many boats on the river made me realize that each boat had a very high stick that hung something. Our tour guide said that stick called bell. This stick will hang the thing that the seller wants to sell. Nevertheless, there is a thing that they hang on that stick but do not sell, that are clothes, because some sellers decide to live on the boat. Well, finally, I got to the last destination, Home King Temple. Before leading to the main temple, we paid a visit to the Stilly House, which was built in the middle of the yard. Inside this house placed a hill stele, and on the surface of it was the historical summary of Home King's era. Then I led to the main temple. My first impression of this building that it looked like a big bronze drum shining under the sun. Surrounding the building was 54 pillars standing still, which were representative for 54 ethnic groups in Vietnam. After worshipping our ancestors, I moved to the exhibition, which stored many objects that our ancestors used in their life. I think this place has carried many spiritual meanings for reminding every Vietnamese people about our origins so that we should retain our culture.
How do you feel?
Hot, so hot, so
Yeah.
hot.
Wait.
Ra luôn các bạn, ra xe luôn. Ra xe luôn nha.
Bye bye.
So that's everything that I did and experienced in 5 days. To be honest, at first, I was not sure about this field trip, like, I just let it be. I consider it as a module and did not expect much about this trip. Turned out, this field trip created beautiful memories in my life. I guarantee myself to go for another trip again. This trip becomes so unforgettable to me, not just because I learned much information in each destination or just witnessed many breathtaking places. But the big reason I love this trip was the moment I visited those places with my friends. I love being alone for sure. I usually go somewhere by myself and I felt it was great. However, spending 5 days wandering these places with friends were different. Once again, I love this trip. I love my friends. I love how my school, Saigon University, has created an opportunity for us to know that the Southwest of Vietnam was so amazing. Also, I love how my class advisor and our tour guide always took care of us during these days. And I love how our driver for taking us to each destination safely. I mean, I love everything happening in this field trip.